What if your front door was your biggest barrier? Today, we're talking about the unseen obstacles keeping people isolated and how the Disability Network is opening doors. Expert Connections starts now. Most of us don't think twice before walking out the front door of our homes, but for many with disabilities, just leaving the house can be a major challenge. Welcome to Expert Connections. I'm Julie Holton Smith. Our experts today joining us from Disability Network, Jenna McBride and Michael Astley. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Jenna, as Executive Director of Disability Network Capital Area, you shared that one of the most eye-opening statistics for you was realizing just how many people are trapped in their homes. That's really startling to hear that people are trapped in their homes. Can you take us back to that moment for you? What opened your eyes to this reality?
Sure. Well, one thing is realizing, of course, that people with disabilities have more challenges. They have different challenges than other folks. And I did not realize the number of people that were in their home that, for financial reasons, structural issues, whatever, they are unable to have ramps on their home. So literally, if they are in using a wheelchair, they can't leave, or they do so unsafely. And that it causes to isolation and it can lead to depression. And being part of the community is such an important part of who we all are that that's a huge barrier for folks.
Absolutely. And startling to realize how many people are in need of something that might sound simple to the rest of us, a ramp, really not simple at all. Michael, I know that you lead one of the programs at Disability Network Capital Area for building these ramps. Tell us more about this and how Disability Network is able to help folks.
Well, with that need in mind, we developed a program called Ramp It Up. And I'll give you an example, and that will explain the program to you. Earlier this month, we were able to participate in the Epiphany Now Week of Kindness. And we built a ramp with the collaboration of Capital Area Housing Partnership, Tuesday Toolman, who are really great collaborators of ours, for a very deserving West Side Lansing resident. And she was able to now, or will be able now, to have many, many future years of access to and from her home. We did that in a day.
Wow. And in one day, life changing, really, to have that ramp be built and allow someone to be able to leave their home. And as she said, she's got book signings to do. She's a
Busy
busy
lady.
woman. So she's got places to be, just like many people.
Mhm.
Jenna, this all speaks to something even deeper than accessibility, which accessibility is so important, especially when you lose it. But this is about independence and dignity. Can you speak to that and how Disability Network is working to help people with that?
Sure. We are a Center for Independent Living, and what that means is that we're funded through the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. And our main function and main goal is to provide supports to people who are disabled to help them be part of the community. So we have so many different services that we're able to offer, all around the thought of keeping people independent as much as possible. So we have independent living classes. We have folks that'll help with resume building. Someone's looking for a job, we might be able to help them do mock interviews, things like that. We are able, in some cases, to do home modifications. If someone has a barrier, like if they're in the hospital and they aren't able to come home until they have a ramp or something like that, in some cases, we can help them. Um, like I said, our function is to keep people as independent as possible.
Let's talk about a big upcoming event that you have, the ADA celebration. Michael, why is celebrating the Americans with Disabilities Act so important decades after its passage?
Well, in 1990, President Bush signed the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, and it really was an act that allowed people with disabilities to be recognized for their uniqueness, but also to have access, to have opportunities that they hadn't otherwise had, because the nation officially was recognizing the fact that accommodations need to be made. We're not all the same. We don't all have the same needs. That's why it's very important that this year we're celebrating the 35th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act signing.
Okay, so tell me about this celebration. Michael, what's going to be included?
Oh my gosh, we have a great band. We have dancers. The Habibi dancers will be there.
Oh, they're
We
so much
have
fun to watch.
face painting. We've got golf. We've got axe throwing. There will be some food, I'm sure. I don't know what. We'll have vendors. It's just going to be a party. And of course, there will probably be a fire truck there for the kids.
Jenna, can you highlight some of the partners of this event and why it's so important, maybe some of the speakers and what you're looking forward to as a part of the ADA celebration?
Well, we are very excited that we have partnered with Peckham, and they are our event sponsor, Peckham Industries. CATA has also become our sponsor for our music, and it is just going to be a true celebration of the Americans with Disabilities Act. We have a speaker, her name is Mudita Jagata, and she will be speaking about living with a disability and remaining as independent as she can. And we also have Terry Langley. Terry is the executive director for the Michigan Disability Network. And so she will be kicking things off with us as well.
I know this celebration is going to be such a fun-filled and packed event, but I know it also speaks into your larger mission. How does this tie back to what you all are doing, Jenna, throughout the rest of the year?
Well, we're celebrating independence for people. And like I said, keeping them as independent as possible with the services that we're able to provide. So I see it as a kickoff to another great year of our important work that we do. We've provided over 18,000 hours last year of service to people with disabilities. So I think it's an opportunity to kind of highlight our agency. And there's a lot of people who don't even know that we exist and that maybe we can help them. Um, so yeah, just an introduction in the community.
Yes, the three of us have talked many times about how Disability Network Capital Area is one of the best kept secrets, but
Mhm.
also should not be kept secret. We're working to change that because so many people can benefit from what you all are doing. Jenna, for leaders, for business leaders especially who are watching, or individuals who want to be better allies or partners to help those with disabilities, what's one practical thing that people can do, whether with your organization or on their own, to help join this mission?
So statistically, 1 in 4 people has a disability. So some of our larger employers in this area have disabled employees working for them or providing care to someone. So I think that if they were to reach out to us and we could find ways that we could work together, one thing that we're able to provide is some disability training. And some disability awareness training to companies where we can come in, work with them and their staff, and talk to them about disability awareness. And that really sends a message to their employees that they do care.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a huge statistic, 1 in 4. And so
Mhm.
whether it's your direct employees who are dealing with a disability or caring for someone, I know as a stepmom to a 17-year-old who reminds us very often he's almost 18, he's almost independent, but yet not facing quite that independent life that he would like. It speaks to my heart, and I imagine to employers across the region who could and would want to be involved in doing more door for
Right.
the people that are working for them.
Right.
Michael, what are some of the biggest challenges still facing people with disability? We talked about the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, and obviously that has done a tremendous amount to help us move forward in caring for and serving those with disabilities. I also know there's a lot more to be done. So, from your perspective, Michael, what are some of those challenges that we're still facing?
Well, perfect example. I'm sitting here in my office looking at a laptop screen, but over in the corner is a wonderful large screen, which is an accommodation for my 61-year-old eyes. Many of us have accommodations that can be made, not necessarily big accommodations, but sometimes very small accommodations that make our lives easier and allow us to give 150% to what we do every day. And that's what I would ask people to be aware of.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And often just starting that conversation, I think if employers were to ask their employees, oftentimes people may not want to speak up, especially when they're having to acknowledge or feel like they're having to acknowledge maybe what they might perceive as a weakness or a shortfall in some way, or feeling like, oh, my employer is gonna, have to help. But really, the employers, I think, oftentimes want to help. So maybe employers start that conversation, ask those questions so that people feel open and comfortable to have those conversations. Jenna, how is the Disability Network evolving its services? I know you listed a bunch of them already, and I know that you're constantly, one of the things that impresses me is you are constantly looking at ways to think outside of the box creatively to identify maybe needs that aren't being met somewhere in the community, and then how Disability Network can help in those areas. So, as your services evolve, how are you working to find those needs and to meet them?
I'd say one of the biggest things that we're working on is reaching to the rural counties. We have a really big presence in Ingham County, but we also serve Eaton and Shiawassee, and Clinton County as well. So I think one of the big pushes is being out in the out counties and servicing people that maybe don't have other support. We're also working in local schools, and trying a anti-bullying campaign with more education early on for younger students about children with disabilities, to provide more of an inclusive approach as a partnership with the schools.
Michael, as you look ahead to what's to come, what do you see in the next 5 to 10 years? How, in a perfect world, what's your vision for a truly inclusive capital area?
Um, well, one where we all appreciate each other and respect each other. And that goes beyond disabilities. That's just a people thing. We aren't people with disabilities. We're people living together in a greater community. And I really think that's what capital area is. And Disability Network capital area within the capital area is a big part of that. We are all one big community, and I want us to live together and understand each other.
I love that. And Jen, I know you feel similarly. What is your vision for the next 5 to 10 years and beyond? What do you see for a truly inclusive capital area?
Gosh, I think being a staple in the community and being able to partner with different corporations, and helping to educate people on disabilities, be it the disabilities that we can see, and some people have disabilities that we can't see. So I envision Disability Network just being able to bring those kind of things to the forefront of employers' minds, and showing that people with disabilities make great employees. They might just need a little bit of accommodations, like Michael said, but there is a whole pool of people that really do want to work and be part of the community.
If someone wants to get involved right now, Jenna, whether it's through volunteering, advocacy, getting their corporate employers involved, celebrating the ADA through the ADA celebration, what's the best way to start?
Well, they can call our office, or they can go to our website, which is dncap.org.
And I will link to all of that information down below so that people can follow you, all the places they can follow you on social media, visit your website, have that access to that phone number. One last time, I want to call out this ADA celebration because it is coming up on July 24th. The ADA celebration, all of this info there for you on your screen. As Michael and Jenna have described, this is going to be a fun party, a great celebration, and also a great time to connect with others in the disability community and to help move this mission forward. Jenna and Michael, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We appreciate you.
And we appreciate you. Stay tuned for more from our community connections right here on Expert Connections. I'm your host, Julie Holton Smith. We'll see you over in the next video.